What's up, guys? Testing out a new camera. I have a screen right here that I'm looking at, so that's what's going on. But it looks good. Just quality looks pretty nice. Turn off the kitchen light here. So today, whoa! Look at all this. Look at all this I got. This is really interesting. I literally took all this junk mail, the junk mail pile that's next to the mailboxes in my building, and I am using it for paper mache. If you guys remember last stream, I showed you how strong, like listen to that, it sounds like wood. So we're just continuing the paper mache project here. I'm gonna do a quick stream before bed and just give you guys a rundown of what I do. I wanted this to dry overnight, so I'm setting this up now. So I made this glue. This stuff looks absolutely disgusting, but it is the super strong glue. I put the vinegar and the baking soda in there. So this is gonna be cool. Now, let's run down what I did here. This is my shelf unit, again, made out of cardboard. I was thinking about how I was gonna tackle this because I like the facade, these rounded corners. This is all aesthetic. I mean, none of this is structural, but it will help the structure when I do paper mache it on. So it'll look cool and be helpful. But for now, I haven't finished layering the inside. So I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna do the inside. And I will have to paper mache the facade, the exterior later. I kind of want to salvage this tape, so I'm going to try to save it. But you can also, this is an opportunity to just see my process here. I don't know what you can see. Oh, I didn't. Should look at what you can see. This is it. You can see that, right? I kind of want to angle this camera down. This is decent quality, though. Is it a little better? A little better? Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. So I did a little live stream earlier. I was just testing it out, seeing what I would be comfortable doing and testing out my skills, responding to a video on YouTube. Because I find that, I never thought I would be someone who enjoyed reaction videos. And I don't necessarily enjoy reaction videos. What I do enjoy is people being smart. So when you hear people commenting on videos and they have smart commentary, it's actually pretty enjoyable, pretty entertaining, pretty interesting. And I've gotten into that recently. So I was like, hey, this is kind of ideal for forming a kind of focus around what I'm presenting to people. So I'd love for people to find me through reacting to different content all over YouTube, because there's so many things to comment on, so much stuff happening in our world right now. Okay, I've got this removed. You see what I did? Just a facade. And my cat is losing his mind. So on the inside, I actually did the paper mache with this recycled brown paper on the top and Some of the inside you can see, but right here I haven't done anything. In this top section, I have not done anything yet. So I'm going to cover that and get the inside parts covered in junk mail. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. I don't even know what this stuff is. We've got good old Lower East Side. All right. Some subscriber letter or something. I've got my super strong glue. Basically, so you guys can see, I'm going to use this piece of paper. We'll put it on this longer cubby, so it'll be easier to set it up. But I'm basically just painting one side with glue, whole thing. And because this is my worker table, my maker table, I don't care at all about getting glue on it. It's so freeing to just work and make a mess and not worry about what it's going to do to the table. It's so nice. It's a studio. This isn't a dining room anymore. Oh my gosh, look at that. It fits perfectly in that little cubby. So I'm draping that on in there. And just for my own aesthetics, I want to keep it as flat as possible. Minimize the creasing on these early layers. I love the aesthetic of paper mache, and when it does bunch up, it does look really cool. But for the early layers, I like to try to keep it as true to the form as possible so it stays flat. That way, it also dries better that way. Because it's more contact. So once that's on there, I'm going to paint over it too. That secures it to the material that you're gluing it to. Everything bonds, and it's a beautiful symbiosis of glue and papier mache. Papier mache. I like to do so. Papier mache. It is a very straightforward process, but I do it a little, how do you say, stupid. No. Boom shakalaka. I've got a beautiful piece of paper in there, piece of junk mail. Now we've got a Spectrum promotional piece of junk mail. It says there's a card inside. Just for the record, these are not some of these are my neighbors, but it says, or current resident. And this is junk mail that's getting thrown away. So I'm not going through my neighbor's mail. But even if I was, would it really be that bad? And plus, I'm putting it to good use. I'm taking the material from this building, the stories, the lives of its residents, and I'm putting it into my furniture, my craft. So I got my Spectrum promotional brochure here. Cover that in paint. Sorry, glue. I kind of like this too when the glue goes over the ink, the printer ink on the paper. I don't know if you can see that, but it spreads the ink around a little bit. Oh man, you can barely see it. But when it dries, it kind of creates a funny effect sometimes. It gives it a little more pizzazz, a little more color. So I'm going to put this over the shelf. And really, I mean, You can see this. I just use the brush. I just shove it into the corner. And because the paper gets wet with the glue, it'll kind of take on the form of whatever you're forcing it into. The idea being you want no air bubbles and just flatten it out as much as you can. And what's helpful if you're painting or doing the paper mache on cardboard is to go with the corrugation. It tends to get the air bubbles out a lot easier. And for these kinds of wraparounds, I'll often just tear it at the joint just to make it a little cleaner. Yeah, got that guy on this side now. You can see that. That's like a mirror image. It's so confusing. Okay, there we go. Kind of. Here we go. I got a dried up piece of paper here. It got loose. I'm gonna re-glue that. And like, fun part of paper mache is like you can't really do it wrong. Like you can't. It's like kind of impossible to do it wrong, which is what gives it so much character too. That's, especially when it's like a practical, functional use item like furniture. It just makes it feel so much more organic and real. So don't worry if something is not settling too. Like that piece of paper was from the previous papering session and it just came up because there wasn't enough glue. That's perfectly fine. Because you can always go over it again with another piece of paper, with junk mail from your neighbors. That's what I cherish the most in this whole process. There, there's some glue. Some glue. Okay, I'm only trying to do this for like half an hour. I know I started way late, but I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do another stream. Hopefully, eventually, I'll get some people in these streams to watch these streams. Here we go. This is an envelope. Isn't that funny? I've got a question for you guys, actually. It's my personal pet peeve that envelope, the word envelope, is spelled E-N-V-E-L-O-P-E. And 90% of people pronounce it envelope. Where does that come from? Why? Why do we say envelope? It's a British thing. I guarantee you it's a British thing. The British love mispronouncing their own language. Making up words. Making up silly, silly words. Okay, yeah. The envelope is going down nice. That's right. The envelope. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's also just so fun. It's such a fun process. because it's rewarding. It's not just that you're making something, it's that you're slowly building something. I know that kind of doesn't, those things are kind of the same thing, but I hope you know what I mean. It's like especially when you have a functional product in mind, like a piece of furniture, it feels like you're putting your heart and soul into it. You're really putting yourself into it. Which is awesome. I'm gonna make this square just a little easier to deal with. Get this in this little wall right here. See that? Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. With this very nice. Put it with a little bit of glue. I don't know what the French word for glue is. I think it is glue. Ghee. I think it is ghee. I think the French word for glue is pizza. It is in a. I'm going to stop being mildly offensive here. Where's my. There. Oh my God. That's the one problem. I try to use a knife every now and then to cut the paper at the corners and at the seams and stuff to make it nice and neat, but it almost never cuts it straight like a normal cut. I put a little, I can explain what I did with these bamboo skewers. These little skewers, this is another way to provide structural integrity to a furniture object. So all along the back wall here, the perimeter where the joints are, basically shove these bad boys in there, snapped them off so that there's something structural pinning them all the pieces together. But yeah, like this was like 99 cents for like a bag of 100 of these, which is awesome. But the thing is, the reason why I bring it up is because there's one that's kind of poking out right now. I might have to just try to shave it off. Oh, that was so much easier. Okay, there we go. I was going to try to hammer it in. But no, there is no need. Mamma mia. This is, oh, by the way, this is the PMS, Paul's Makerspace. It's also my initials, PMS, in case you're wondering. I also have PMS as we speak. What's that you say? I know. It's silly. But hey, why not? If it's memorable, let's use it. PMS. That's a thing that I have been, as soon as anyone learns my initials, They're like, oh my God. It's been happening since middle school. Middle school. People being like, your initials are PMS. Oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, yeah. Apparently my parents hated me. No, that's not true. It's only half true. No, that's not true. But it's one of those like those 3-letter acronyms that everyone in the world knows. Everyone is aware of that. PMS. Which is kind of funny. Oh wait, is that what I want? Yeah, I might as well. It's fine. This is another. Oh, this is like one of these banking loan cards. Trying to get people to go further into debt. Trying to convince people that going into debt will get you out of debt. And so funny. So funny. Really, really tragic times we're in. Like, all you need is a debit card where we loan you $500. Then it's like pay it back in your own time. Never mind the fact the interest is 45%. And in 2 years, if you haven't paid it back, you'll owe $5,000. It's so crazy. It's like the world we live in right now. Luckily I didn't fall for one of those, but I did. I have signed up for some dubious credit cards. Just, in the moment, believing in myself that I am a super good, responsible credit card owner, and convincing myself that I needed that credit card because the rewards will be so worth it. Wow. It's amazing. I had this credit card because I bought my then girlfriend a very nice, expensive gift at Williams and Sonoma. And they were like, hey, if you get a credit card, you get $300 off or some whatever offer it was. And it's just amazing. Those things stay with you longer than the relationship. I had that credit card. It took me forever to get rid of that thing. I was like, Williams and Sonoma, I literally bought one thing from you guys. One thing. Like, I don't go to Williams Sonoma. Sorry. I don't buy Crusette. I do, even though I do paper mache, I do not buy Crusette pots and pans. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. That's how little I shop there. Maybe if you guys even know what I'm talking about, those fancy pots and pans, the French ones. But yeah, I think I had that credit card for 10 years, 10 years. And it always became this thing where I was like, oh, I have my credit card, I can use my credit card. So every time I was on the verge of like paying it completely off and just like getting it out of my life, which even though you're not supposed to do that, apparently I wanted to so badly. I would always end up being on the brink of getting rid of it and then being like, I need to buy this keyboard. I need to buy this the $700 synthesizer or something. You know, only the smartest decisions. I have grown. I'm more mature now. You know, I suppose this is how you learn. Look at this. Find the loan you want, no matter what you need. Personal loans, home equity line of credit. No, I mean, I'm not knocking this entirely. I think some of these are good, but like, man, it's just like so predatory sometimes. They just suck people in. People see free money. That's what they see. Low barrier to entry, and it can be really cruel. Okay, so let's try to reinforce this wall. I'm gonna do a funky little maneuver here. Fold this bad boy so it fits right in the corner. Get my fingers covered in glue. Yes. Oh, that is a good one. That is very nice. Completely sealed the deal, as it were. I hope this is entertaining. But more importantly, I hope really people get stuff out of this kind of streaming, because I really do believe that this is obviously, I think it's very easy to say that this is the future. You know, we're already kind of here. It's not the future, it's the present. What the future is, it's hard to say, but I do think it will involve integrating the internet and live streaming in such a capacity that it will be normal. It will be so normal. I mean, it's already normal for Gen Z and, you know, Gen Alpha to an extent, I'm sure. They have such an integrated awareness of the internet. I mean, it's just so crazy. It's honestly, it's like all these things at once. I think it's like philosophically, it's completely fascinating and terrifying, interesting, scary, interesting, also terrifying. The implications are just so crazy. Like, we have no idea how these things are going to develop. And I really like the concept of being kind of a futurist, someone who's considering all the implications of the technology that we're adapting to right now, and going not just to the logical conclusion, the immediate logical conclusion, but like trying your hardest to think 5 to 10 steps beyond that. And that's where stuff gets so crazy. Where it's really not even recognizable. Of course, I say that and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I mean, AI is just like the easiest thing to really start imagining a future for. But where I go when I think of AI is an expansion, like an immediate expansion of consciousness, or an acceleration of the expansion of consciousness for the human race. A very like fundamental component to existence for humans is being in touch with our spirituality. And I think ironically, this is what's so crazy. Ironically, I think AI is going to reconnect us to our spirituality. I think that's what AI is here for. And even if that can't be true or something, I think we have the power to will it to be true, which is equally fascinating to me. I believe that. I totally believe that we can manifest AI to be essentially whatever we want it to be. And that's where it becomes really powerful because we are in control, okay? Like, people freak out and really get this simplistic kind of fear-driven notion in their head that AI will overwhelm us or like figure out how to like control us. And I think it's never going to be able to do that. I think we are always so many steps ahead of AI because, first of all, AI doesn't have spirituality, and I don't think it ever will. But even if it did get to that level, the only way it gets to that level is by us inputting spirituality into its system. I don't think it's going to be able to do it independent of human interaction. Because I used to be a little bit more scared of like ChatGPT and how accurate it is and stuff like that, and how it's able to really distill information in such a powerful way and make it like shift its tones and make it very personable and specific to you and stuff like that. It does feel, it's like uncanny, it's eerie. But I don't think it's as scary as that seems. And the reason why I think that is because I think we're calling it by the wrong name. I don't think it should be called AI yet. It's a large language model. A large language model is essentially a computer program where we figured out how to scan a vast amount of information at the speed of light digitally. The computer can do all that and map it out on a grid and coordinate all of the information in a way to make sense. And I don't know who the genius is that figured that out, but I know they've been working on it for a long time. I don't think it was the guy who owns ChatGPT, whatever his name is. I forget his name. But man, that is a profound human achievement. I think it's unbelievable we've been able to do that. And wow, what an acceleration of human consciousness. The fact that we were able to do that just in the first 25 years of the 21st century, we went from barely understanding how to incorporate the internet into our daily lives to, in 25 years, figuring out AI, like figuring out large language models. I mean, our kids, any kid born after the year 2000 has the amount of, like, we think we saw a lot of progress in technological evolution in the 20th century. Oh my God. The stuff we are in for the 21st century is mind altering. It's going to be literally mind altering. I really believe that. I think it's going to be something that, I mean, the stuff that Elon Musk talks about, Neuralink, planting a chip in your brain and stuff like that. Being able to control a computer with your mind. I was talking with a friend about that, and that is bizarre to me. I don't understand. He was very against that idea, and I think I am too. Like, I don't understand the significance of it, other than the ultimate significance of it is an immediate direct line to control you in some way. Some kind of corporation or government or powers that be have a more direct access to your brain, to your physical body, and be able to control you. Okay, I'm getting tired and I need to go to bed. But I am happy that I did this, because this is going to be awesome when it dries. This is going to be very, very solid. The interest rate is 26.74% APR. I remember in college, when I was in college, 2003, I'm seeing like 14.99%. And every once in a blue moon, seeing like 13%, 12%. And my mom being like, "Oh, that's a good deal. You should jump on that one." At the time, I didn't understand it at all. It made absolutely no sense to me. Still kind of doesn't make sense. I just have more context for it now because I've been in debt. Anyway. Trying to get this corner reinforced. And this is a little bit of opposite of what I was saying earlier, but I'm like not making it very pretty for that base layer, but I am gonna just shove it in there because I think it's gonna be worth having that extra bulk of paper to reinforce the section. You know what else about this process? Paper mache. It's extremely kid friendly. It is so easy to do with kids. And how cool is this? If you make something with your kid and it's a functional object that you can use in your home. Like, for example, a stool that you can use for a long time. Some of these things can last for years, man. Your kid now has a core memory associated with you that involves doing something creative together. I mean, just doing that once can really be so powerful. It can impact them for the rest of their lives. It can really ingratiate them to an understanding of how love can work. The dynamic of love can be expressed. And I think that's just profound. And look, this stuff's drying super fast. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna add a little reinforcement here on this seam. Oh, I didn't put the. I think it's the hardest part is right angle joints. They're hard to make really clean looking. But again, I know I keep saying this, but the charm, the beauty of paper mache is that it's kind of naturally takes on an organic form, even when you're making it rigid and right angled and that kind of thing. Okay, let's do one more. I haven't actually tried these like kind of thicker cardstock like flyer paper yet. I know that they can work. I'm just a little reluctant to use them if they like have long-term effects or something because they have the coating on them, the kind of plastic coating on them, or they're integrated with plastic in a way. I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly paranoid about it, but they would be very rigid. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll just do it. Who cares? I'll put it. Look at this. It's actually the same. It's like the exact size. Here, hold on. That is pretty wild. This stuff is already dried. On this, the very first one, that page I did, it's dry. Which, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. Okay. Oh my God, it's been 45 minutes. All right. Thank you for tuning in. If anybody watches this all the way through, I don't know why you did, but thank you. I really appreciate it.